Hello, Gerald Thompson here, international opera singer and voice teacher. Today I'll be sharing with you my Level 3 Advanced Vocal Warm-Up, where all the exercises are working specifically on breath. Let's go. We're going to start this vocal exercise by singing 1-3-5-3-1-5-1 on a lip trill or using a straw. When using a straw, I prefer a small thin straw. If you only have large straws, you can place that in some water to create a bit of resistance. The exercise sounds like this. We can continue up a half step. Always making sure that we're continuing to have our natural inhalation, that the ribs and stomach are staying expanded, that we're never squeezing. With this exercise, I'm staying in the middle of my range. I'm not going to any of the extremes. We can then move on to sustaining one long note. We'll start with our E exercise. E, E. But this time, instead of just sustaining that last note, I want to try to work on some dynamics. So let's try to do a crescendo on that last note as we sustain it for those 5 beats. Working on that dynamics will actually allow you to sustain this note even longer than you could if you weren't adding the dynamics. Let's try to do it on 7 beats with a crescendo until the end. Nine beats. We can also do this exactly the opposite way by starting loud and doing a decrescendo until the end. That would sound like this. Once we have that working with the repeating of the E at the beginning, we can now take that away and just do a crescendo or a decrescendo. Let's do the crescendo first. The decrescendo. With the decrescendo, you're going to want to make sure that you're keeping a nice wide bass so that the sound stays supported until the end of the tone. We're going to now try to add that crescendo and decrescendo together. That's going to be the last step of this exercise. Go up the half step. Getting this crescendo, decrescendo to work well might take some time, but you can play with how long you do the crescendo, how long you do the decrescendo. You could do the crescendo over a longer period of time and the decrescendo pretty quickly, or vice versa. We'll start with a 7-beat crescendo and a 3-beat decrescendo. When working with sustaining one long note, you might try to add in some crescendos, decrescendos as you're sustaining the note, just to try to see what helps you the best with sustaining that note. I'll play around with one note just to show you what I mean. Throughout this exercise, I'm just trying to make sure that the breath is staying pliable and that I'm keeping a nice wide base of support that's never feeling rigid or stuck. We're now going to do an exercise going into the chest voice, coming back up and then going back down. The exercise will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. And we're going to do it on ya, 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 ah, oh, ah. It sounds like this. Ya, 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 oh, ah. Going down a half step. Ya, 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 oh, ya, 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 oh. Making sure that when you get into the low part of the range, you can always go into chest voice, go into that lower part, but never letting the sound fall into the throat. We're going to try to keep that sound nice and open with a lot of head resonance, even when we're in the lower register. And keep going a half step down until you get to the bottom of your range with this exercise. Now we'll do an exercise going through all of our different vowels, moving back and forth. This exercise will have 8 beats going up to the top note, 2 on E, 2 on E, and 4 on A. I'll do the first 4 beats together first, a bit slower, just so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll do it up to tempo, all 8 beats together. And then moving forward with the ah in this same figure. Now do it all together a bit quicker so that we make it through the phrase in one breath. And now, taking that same exercise in reverse, sounds like this. Going up the half step. By going a bit quicker, it makes it even easier for me, as someone who loves singing coloratura, to make it through the phrase easier and easier. And if this is really easy for you, you could even do this entire exercise in one breath. That would sound like this. With the last exercise of this video, we'll be singing the Alleluia exercise again and work on sustaining a high note. We'll start with how the exercise was in level 2. Alleluia. But this time we're going to take away 3 of those lus and just sustain the note. It sounds like this. Alleluia. Keeping in our triplet feeling. If that works well, we can also take away the other repeated lus at the top, and then that would sound like this. Alleluia. If anytime you're having trouble sustaining that top note, you can bring back in those repeated loos to help get the voice flowing again. Up a half step. Alleluia. Or one sustained note. Alleluia. Alleluia. Making sure that the lay is staying nice and round, not going wide. Alleluia. Nice and supported on the top note. Nice and wide and thinking back instead of forward at the top. You don't ever want to feel like you're pressing the breath out of the body. It's always the nice relaxed back feeling instead of forward. You can also add in a crescendo like at the beginning of the exercise to really let that note bloom at the top. We're going to take this up a couple more. Again, la, 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 la at the top if you need it. If it's getting even more difficult, you can actually double the speed of the lu-lu-lus on the top note. That would sound like this. Now with a sustained note, thinking that la 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 as you sustain that top high note. If you've enjoyed this series of vocal warm-ups, please make sure and give me a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share the videos with your friends. Tschüss!